Greetings, good people. It is I, your sarcastic neighborhood ghostwriter, here to ramble at you once again. In the English language, there is a tried and true expression known as common sense, which refers to shared knowledge so obvious that it does not need to be repeated in words. Unfortunately, it seems that we now live in an age where so-called common sense is anything but. So I figured I'd put together a short list of stuff I think everyone should know. I'm going to start us off in an area in which I have deep and expansive personal experience and knowledge. And it might surprise you to hear this, but sometimes people in wheelchairs can be terrible. In the absurd maze of political correctness that so much of this world has become, people with disabilities occupy a very strange position. Many people, and in fact far too many, seek to classify us as both heroes and victims, and because of the victim element of this unchosen identity that has been thrust upon us, a lot of people do not want to criticize any actions someone with a disability might choose to take. But I'm here to break the news to you. Sometimes people with disabilities are just assholes, like everyone else. Now, if someone with an obvious physical disability is ever needlessly rude to you, your first instinct will probably be to think, oh, well, they have a really hard life, so it's understandable that they might be rude to somebody who has it better. But I want you to know that that is precisely the wrong attitude to take. Regardless of whether they are like me and suffered trauma at birth or experienced some form of injury later in life that permanently affected the way their body functions, the only reason they would have to justifiably take anger out on you is if you were the idiot who hit them with a car. Outside of that very specific scenario, however, living with a disability does not in any way entitle someone to treat another person badly or unkindly. There is also the fact that in refusing to acknowledge disabled people's capacity to do anything wrong under any circumstances, social justice activists are also denying us our right to full and complete humanity, because only gods are incapable of making mistakes, and I certainly am no god. In our current social climate, this next thing is liable to get me crucified, but I truly don't care, and it has to be known. Men and women, contrary to popular belief, are not equal. In saying this, I do not mean to imply that women are any less socially valuable than men, but the truth is that we are not the same. The current mainstream narrative would have us all accept without question that a woman can do anything a man can do. But that is a denial of objective reality and, in my view, absolute rubbish. To those who honestly believe that men and women are equal in every way, I pose the following challenge. Why don't you try having an average woman drag unconscious people out of a burning building to keep them alive? or an average man open up and successfully run a daycare center for babies. Neither thing is likely to happen with any degree of success. Now, as the old saying goes, my mama didn't raise no fool. I understand all too well that there are indeed some women who work in physically demanding jobs, just as there are some men who work in the field of childcare. However, the exception does not define the norm. Men and women have unique skills and abilities, and rather than trying to deny that fact, I believe it should be something that we celebrate. This next segment goes out to any young people who may be listening. Now, this will be hard to hear, but despite what you may have been told by the media or even by your parents and teachers, the truth is that you simply cannot be whatever you want to be in this world. That probably sounds rather harsh, but the reality is that each of us is only born with a certain number of skills. Take me, for example. I have always wished that I could put pencil to paper and create beautiful artworks. But I'm lucky if I can even draw a halfway decent stick figure, and I've just had to come to terms with that. Learning about our various strengths and weaknesses is part of what it means to become a mature and responsible adult, and I believe that knowing what you are not good at allows you to focus on and develop the things that you are good at. Lastly, I want you to be aware that you do not have to go to university to be smart or to get a good job. Every year here in South Africa, an increasing number of young people enroll in institutions of higher learning and get degrees, only to come out and realize that there are no jobs for them on the other side. This is because in the white-collar world, there are only so many positions to be filled, and employers would much rather have people with practical experience than those fresh out of the classroom. In the spirit of full disclosure, I will tell you that I did indeed go to college to study journalism, but my ability to write has been with me since I was a child, and on a professional level, I learned far more from working than I ever did from a textbook. People here, as well as around the world, seem to have forgotten that there is honor and pride in the skilled trades, not to mention a whole lot of money for those who are willing to earn it. Before I go, I'd just like to thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and if you found this list helpful in any way, then I encourage you to share it with a friend. For now, farewell.